everyone, welcome to the 24-25 school year. I'm your teacher, Miss Dykeman, and this is the art room. In this video, you'll have a tour of the art room and get to know a little bit about our procedures. Now, even though this video is for 24-25, a lot of our procedures stay the same every year. So if you're new or just joining in or need a review, this video is for you. All right, you're here. Now, if you are coming with a large class, the reason we have two different ways of going, like a one-way of traffic, is because we don't want two classes coming in the same door. It can cause a lot of chaos. So make sure you always enter here through this door. This will be towards the front of the room, and it'll be probably farthest away from your classroom near the gym. Now, when I'm waiting for your class, your job is to line up on this wall of the doors outside the art room. You should be quiet and not be banging the wall. Let's go inside. So, welcome to our creative space here at MES. This classroom is going to be forever changing. Just like how art does, it evolves as we need it. The decorations in here are pretty cool, I just want to point out. You'll notice that it has a brick wall that I hand painted myself with a couple of my friends and family a couple years ago. The idea is the brick is building a foundation in art, just like your elementary school years are a foundation to your education. So, we'll give you a tour of the art room and get ready to know what you need to know. All right, let's begin with your seating charts and where you're going to be creating. We have 4 large of these tables behind me in a row or in some kind of configuration. And each of those tables seats approximately 4 students. Please have 2 bodies to each bench, okay? Make sure you are sitting up appropriately too. No artist can be doing art like this, okay? And that's just kind of silly. So each table has designated colors as well. I have the red and the orange, yellow and green. Over here is teal and blue, and pink and purple. So each half of these tables equals a color. The colors are very useful for me to call groups, maybe to go to the drawing rack or for our class games. They come very much in handy, so make sure you know your color. Besides the color, you're going to need to know your seat number. All the seat numbers are labeled somewhere on the table. These are right above your head, okay? And that number is also very important because we use it for other things. Again, the drawing rack where you put your project, games, that number is very handy. The reason we have numbers is I have a lot of classes in here, boys and girls, and that makes it really easy for me to make seating charts and coordinate games. Okay, let's talk about your art supplies next. Here you need these things to create art. With you every day, you should have an art box and some of the basic things you need. Crayons, markers, colored pencils, scissors. Some of those things are optional, and I'll provide you with a list of what you need. But if you don't have an art box, it's okay. We have other things you can do. I have a store that you can purchase art supplies from using your Cardinal Cash. Cardinal Cash is something that you earn with just being an awesome person, going above and beyond. It's part of our school thing. You also could just borrow from a friend simply, or check my lost and found bucket. You can't miss that thing. It's a bucket labeled lost and found. All right, moving on. All right, now there is something you need to know when you are creating art in my class. On the back of your artwork, usually using a pencil or a crayon, I guess if that's what you got, you need to always add your class code. The class code is like a secret code that tells me whose artwork this class possibly belongs to, okay? On the back of your artwork, you need to put your grade level, number. So for example, if you're in 5th grade, you're gonna put a 5 on your artwork, and following behind that 5 should be your rotation day. The rotation day is something our school does, and it usually uses a 1, 2, 3, or 4. In this case, this year it's a 1, 2, or 3. Depends on the number of classes we have in the school. I label the rotation day by a letter in the alphabet, A, B, or C. That keeps it very simple, just in case kids mix up their grade level number and the rotation day number, A, B, or C. So if you have art the first day of the rotation, Your class code is 5A if you are in 5th grade. Don't forget to sign the back of your artwork, okay? Very important. You may be famous. We want to know. Autograph your work. You just need your artwork and you need to know where to put it. Here's our system in the art room, and I guarantee you're going to love it. So on these tables, we use these tables as grade levels, and everything in the art room has a purpose that is colored, believe it or not. Starting with your grade levels. As you get older, you go up the rainbow, and you'll see this in a lot of areas in my classroom. You can differentiate which storage table belongs to your grade level on the color. So behind me, I have the blue table. This belongs to 4th grade over here. On the other side of it is 5th grade. Right here is my orange, that's 1st grade. Here's 6th grade, and so on, so on. So what you gotta do first is find your color. On each color, there are 3 bins on the side, labeled with your class rotation day that you have art. A, B, C, D, whatever your letter is. In that lettered bin is where you put your artwork. Simple, right? All you have to do is pull out the bin that has your class letter on it for your rotation day. Make sure you have your name and class code on the bin, and then you're ready to line up. We should talk about how you're going to line up. All right, so now we're near towards the back of the art room, and the way you line up is simply follow the paint drip trail. The paint drip trail is small dots that are in the shape of paint drips that show you where to go. There's a couple of rules. Only 1 artist per paint drip, and you simply follow along. When you get lined up, I will call each table either by color, by artist, or hey, who was just rocking it today? So, one rule that you also need to know is 1 on the rug, okay? That means we have several rugs that kind of interrupt the paint drip trail, 1 person on the rug, okay? If a person sometimes misses their paint drip and the line gets really scratched, just simply move the line back and we'll adjust accordingly. Here is our paint drip trail. Now, let's say your class did exceptionally well in art class as far as behavior and doing what you're supposed to do. You can get something called palette points. Palette points are a reward system I have in class that give you points towards a studio day, which is like the best day in art ever because it's a free day in art to create whatever you want with teacher selected materials, of course. Maybe even sit wherever you want, maybe do a group collaborative project. I've had so many students truly enjoy studio day. So I'm happy to be able to reward it to my students using this giant awesome palette. So on this palette, it's like a start and finish line, almost like a race. Your class is a team. Work together to remind each other how to be awesome artists and students. Every class gets their own flip. So right here, I have kindergarten that's red, and the class that has kindergarten on rotation day, C. Every class will start on the starting line with their paintbrush clip. And then at the end of every class, after we were on that paint drip trail, standing and waiting for a pickup, we'll talk about how you did. Usually if it goes really, really well, we follow the cardinal way, you will get to move your paintbrush 1 color. Your goal is to get around all the entire palette. Once you do, I put a little tag on it that says Studio Day, and it becomes an IOU when I can squeeze it in between our projects. Not a bad deal, huh? But wait, it gets even better. New this year, I'm adding Daily Double, which is I'm going to be picking 1 student randomly at the beginning of class on my little list. That student, nobody will know who they are, but I'm going to be watching that student in particular, and if they do an amazing job being a leader and whatever is expected of them, they will get a chance to spin the Daily Double wheel for your class. That artist will come over here. If it lands on your grade level color, you guys get a bonus point. So it landed on blue. Blue is 4th grade's color, so let's pretend we're a 4th grade blue class. Yes, 4th grade will get to move their palette, paintbrush, an extra color for that day. Well, keep earning your points, artists. Let's begin.